Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us this morning. We invited you, our Fort Meade community supporters, to provide you with an update on the significant progress of the Education and Resiliency Center. As many of you know, this has been quite a long journey, 11 plus years of research, planning, fundraising, more planning, coordinating, designing, receiving Army approvals, and construction. 5 garrison commanders have been a part of this project, and in just a few minutes, you will hear from our current garrison commander, Colonel Christopher Nyland, who will have the privilege of being here when the center opens next year. Throughout these years, our mission has always been the same: to serve the men and women at Fort Meade and to help them stay strong and resilient. Fort Meade is home to dedicated men and women whose commitment to vital missions keep our nation safe. While not known to most of us, the unique pressures of protecting our country impact our service members, their families, and the DoD community every day. We know that we need to care for the people who take care of us by providing a vital support system that will keep them strong and resilient. The Education and Resiliency Center will be a centralized hub to find resources, services, and programs to meet the unique needs of the Fort Meade community. And I am proud to report that the transformation of historic Coon Hall is definitely underway, and we are excited to announce the new renovated facility will have a soft opening in August of 2022 and an official grand opening by the end of 2022. So how did we get here? If you recall, we had our official wall breaking last July, which marked a big milestone for this project. We officially had the go ahead to start the construction. We signed the Whiting Turner Contracting Company as the general contractor, and this was finally becoming a reality. But of course, that was right in the middle of the COVID-19 surge. We had to adjust everything. The worldwide pandemic had and still has a significant impact on the progression of Coon Hall, including extended timelines for government approvals, supply chain issues, and the overall impact of COVID on our community. But we continue to navigate through these unprecedented times with the help of a dedicated team of construction professionals, volunteers, and Fort Meade personnel, and you, our loyal supporters. Despite pandemic obstacles, we have had significant progress in a very short period of time. Coon Hall is now a fully operational construction site, and Whiting Turner has moved in. The temporary fencing and safety barriers are up on the outside, while crews attend to outdoor prepping, water lines, transformers, HVAC units, and much more. Meanwhile, to prepare for the new floor plans, demolition is in full swing. In the basement, for example, crews are prepping to cut the floor to lay the foundation for a new elevator and preparation for 2 new stairwells. Most of the interior walls are now torn down. The carpet has been removed. I was there just last week and amazed at the transformation already underway. It's going to be a fantastic community hub. And up on your screen, I have just a few pictures to share for you. You can see pictures of the construction fencing going up. On the inside, you'll see the before pictures where the historic building and all the interior from over the decades. And then on the upstairs, we're walking upstairs, and there it is. You can see construction or demolition in full swing with the walls torn down and wiring being exposed so it can be removed and ultimately be replaced, and the crew hard at work. And again, additional pictures of the before and the start of demolition, and more pictures. And it's just it is such a good feeling to be inside. And there you can see Joe and Frankie, myself and Tim out front, having had time to walk through the Coon Hall. And again, after 11 years, finally being at this point to make this a reality. Very, very exciting. So what I'd like to do now is, while the work is being done on the building, we also launched a Fort Meade Resiliency portal, which gives Fort Meade personnel and their family members valuable resources right at their fingertips. The portal, located at ftmeadresiliency.org, provides a new way to access resiliency services, from mental health services, resources to nutrition, counseling, to financial services and employment assistance. This portal focuses on the 5 pillars of resiliency: family, emotional, physical, spiritual, and social. In addition, 12 kiosks will be conveniently placed throughout the installation for easy access to the services. Now, there is no one better suited to talk about those unique needs that Fort Meade's installation commander, Colonel Christopher Nyland. Colonel, welcome.
Thanks for having me today, Dion. Great to see everyone.
Great to see you. It was wonderful to spend some time with you last week, and thank you for joining the webcam today. First, I guess the question I have is, how does it feel to be at this stage of the Education and Resiliency Center, and when we see the light at the end of the tunnel?
No, absolutely. First of all, before I go into anything else, I gotta say thank you. I gotta say thank you to you and your entire team, and all the donors and everyone that has contributed to making this effort possible. I am silly excited about what I'm starting to see now. And when I first came on board and they kind of briefed me on this initiative, it was conceptually very interesting to me. But as you remember, at that point in time, there wasn't really anything. There wasn't anything necessarily happening at that point in time. If I had to describe it one way now, more than anything, there is a sense of momentum, and in my mind, it's irreversible momentum. With the FortMeadResiliency.org website coming online, we've cited in all the locations for the kiosks, and I know we're just waiting on the vendor to give us the exact dates on when they're going to be able to install it, and then seeing that work being done, the physical work being done in Coon Hall is just amazing. I run by that site once or twice a week, and I generally like to say that I'm usually one of the first people on the roads here on post, as I'm usually up running around 5:30 in the morning. But I'll tell you, every morning I've run by Coon Hall, that site's already been active. So I can tell you, you're definitely getting your money's worth out of the team you have out there doing work there, because they're really getting after it. And I know, that my team now has also focused their efforts to ensure that we're able to run from here on out. We're able to run as smoothly as possible with the rest of the work. So I can't tell you how excited I am.
Terrific. Thank you. What does the facility, like this, which will really be a first in the nation, but what does this mean from your perspective to the Fort Meade community?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been doing some thinking about that recently. And one thing that you said at the beginning in your introduction is, this is really, we're sitting on the far end of about a 10 or 11 year effort here. And one of the things that really struck me as I've been thinking about, not only the site, but not only the physical infrastructure, but the website and everything else that's going on, is how well this nests into the Army's bigger campaign to put people first and to really invest in our most valuable resource as a military, to ensure that our people are always ready to accomplish the mission. But what really struck me as interesting was, the need was identified by the leadership here. You were able to rally support for this effort years before the Army said, you know what, people first is our priority. It is our number one priority. So the vision here is just, it's pretty amazing and humbling for me. The Army's always had lots of programs, and it continues to have a lot of different programs, a lot of different ways to help service members. The local community has a ton of different ways to help members of the community, which they consider us part of that community, and we really appreciate that. And I think the real strength of this effort, and I jokingly refer to it, it's almost like a resiliency search engine. It's like a curated resiliency search engine, because at this point in time, much like we find with the rest of the internet, the information, the help, what you need is out there, but it's about finding it. It's about connecting the person with the service, in the right service that can help them in the situation they find themselves in. And that's what I'm super excited about with regard to this site and its ability to connect the service members, not just with help, but with the right help for them based on their current circumstances. I think that's especially important moving forward. I know we've all seen in the news about the end of military operations in Afghanistan. We understand the much reduced military operations going on in Iraq right now. But the thing is, when you look at the mission of Fort Meade and the work that the service members do here on Fort Meade, that mission hasn't reduced at all. Those service members are still out there gathering intelligence. They're still out there defending our networks. And if anything, really over the past 10 years since this effort started, their work has increased. I mean, if you look at the number of cyber attacks our nation the number of times our nation's attacked through cyberspace, that's just been increasing exponentially. And really the service members here are that first line of defense for that. So I can't think of a more important effort to put into place here on Fort Meade than this, because I honestly believe the demands that are placed on the organizations here on post are just going to increase as we continue moving into the future. And I think this is, we saw, in the Air Force, we saw what happens when we didn't pay a lot of attention to service members and the stresses service members were under right here in CONUS who support military operations. And I think, this is really going to be one of the leading ways we can address some of those same stressors in our service members right here on Fort Meade. So super important.
Thanks for the insights, and that was I guess one of the really important aspects of the Resiliency Center and the portal, because of the hub and spoke approach, and those spokes going outside the fence line, connecting in with the community. And the beauty of the portal now is it can actually support servicemen and women and their families well before they ever get to Fort Meade. If they're TDYing or PCSing, they can start to get insights into Fort Meade and what they're going to need for their families. So it's a great, thank you for sharing your thoughts on the importance of it. And I'm just excited we were able to get the portal out there ahead of when the actual physical building will be ready, but the two go hand in hand and will have an enduring impact for a long time to come. I do have to ask you,
if I could just, and I would tell you, the portal is already having an impact. If there's any doubts out there, I can tell anyone that may be listening, the portal is already having an impact. I mean, I will tell you just personally, You know, when it was first launched, I was playing around with it. I was checking out a few things. And I stumbled across this great organization that's connected with the portal called the Warrior Canine Connection, and where they work and with struggling service members and actually teach them to train service dogs for other service members, which is just it's such a beautiful circle and connection of helping helping others to help others and making that stronger. But you know, one of my favorite things on it is they've got this live webcam that you can check out that goes right into their puppy pens, and so you can literally click into their websites and watch the puppies. And I'll tell you, I use it all the time. It's a great when stuff is coming down on me, and you know, you're just getting bad news after bad news, which occasionally happens even in the best of organizations. I can pop on there and immediately feel that stress level going down. What's really interesting is the last time I was up there, I was one of 26 other people that were also watching that webcam at the same time. So I mean, and that's just one snippet in time. So just to reassure everyone, you are making a difference, and it is absolutely felt. Sorry.
No, thank you for sharing that personal story. And thank you again, sir. You know, we are just about out of time, but I do appreciate you providing your insights and your perspectives. And you've witnessed this, you feel this, but this community loves this post and all that live and work on and around it. And we are just thrilled that we can work alongside you to serve in our way, our little way, in any way we can. And so again, thank you. Thank you for the partnership. And we look forward to making the physical building a reality in August of 2022.
No, absolutely, John. Thank you so much. And as usual, anytime I interact with your organization, I know I tend to sound like a little bit of a broken record, but I am truly humbled by not only the sense of community that you create, but also the generosity and the spirit that the For Meat Alliance was really founded on. It shines through to this day, and we're really proud to be part of this partnership and part of this community. So thanks so much.
Thank you, Colonel. And for all of you listening to today's update, thank you. Your support has been monumental to the success of this project. But before we go, I do have to plug the Foundation's big event that's coming up on April 9th. It is our first ever Stars in Service Gala. It will be a special, incredible night where we will celebrate the men and women who take care of our community and our nation. So please check out the FMA Foundation website for more details. And we look forward to providing you updates on our progress of the Education and Coon Hall, Education Resiliency Center at Coon Hall in the months ahead. Thank you much, and be well.